Fargo.
The Live Viper 6 mobile app. Download it today.
Tropical Storm Idalia is headed our way. It's already produced a lot of heavy rain and storms around the CSRA. A full look at your forecast and what to expect over the next 12 hours coming up.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 6, our coverage of Idalia continues. Teams stationed all across the two-state.
We'll have team coverage as your news at 6 starts
Live from Television Park. This is WJBF News Channel 6 at 6.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jenny Montgomery.
I'm Brad Means, live outside Television Park on this rainy Wednesday. We appreciate you joining us. What will the wind and rain do tonight? We'll check in with our teams across Georgia and South Carolina in a moment.
The storm is already affecting our area. News Channel 6 has teams standing by right now. And here at Television Park, meteorologists Tim Miller and Jenna Petracci are tracking Idalia, and they have the latest.
Yeah, we sure do, Jenny. It's been quite an afternoon, hasn't it been, Jenny?
Yes, very busy. Lots of rain.
Yeah, lots of rain, lots of storms, but we have some good news here with this. We were talking about the movement of Idalia, and it's now a tropical storm, right? But wind speeds are at 70 miles per hour. And Jenna, we were talking about the key takeaway here with this is that the storm is moving towards the northeast at 21 miles per hour, and that's really fast for a tropical system.
Yes, we're dealing with the worst of the impacts right now. In fact, we're almost done with this. I'd say around 3 more hours of the very heavy rain and the tropical storm force winds. But also, Tim, I'd say that center of circulation is already headed towards some of our southeastern counties, if you could even call it that. That center is definitely becoming more disorganized now that it's a tropical storm.
Yeah, it sure is. And because it's over land, right? It's the friction of land that's helping that to actually come to its demise. And we're okay with that. But still, Jen is right. Nonetheless, we still have a spin in the atmosphere, right? That's going to produce the opportunity of some tornadic storms. So Idalia in the path pretty much has matched the same path as it's been over the last 6-7 hours. That's great. We like to see that. So it's 5 o'clock here, but previous reports, 8 o'clock was when we expected to be in the southern part of our viewing area, but now it's already past the 5 o'clock hour, right? So it's moving off towards the northeast and quickly out to sea. This will be a distant memory in short order. Live Viper 6, taking a look at the rain. We have a number of flash flood aerial flood advisories, flash flood warnings, and that's rightfully so because of the rain. I'll zoom right into the city here. It's light to moderate rain at this point, but some of these could produce some pretty heavy downpours. Here's Bobby Jones. Here's I-20. So Evans, Martinez, over to Fort Gordon, Grovetown, y'all have some pretty heavy rain to contend with. And of course in the city, then across the river into North Augusta, Grandinville, Aiken, some pretty heavy rain. Burke County, your aerial flood advisory in effect till 8 o'clock. So Waynesboro, you know those areas that typically flood? Yeah, we got to be extra careful for that. And all this rain continues to move from south to north, right? So that's because the center of circulation of Idalia is further towards the south, and that's where the heavy rain is now moving up towards the north. 5.6 inches of rain in the last 12 hours in Sylvania. Millen has over 5 inches of rain, 4 inches of rain plus in Waynesboro. And I think, as Jenna said, we're going to add to that here in short order. Let's look at the winds, because this is a big issue, obviously. Sustained winds at 16 miles per hour in Augusta, 18 in Waynesboro. The gusts have been up to 36, maybe up to 40 miles per hour. What we've not seen is a 50-plus mile per hour gust. That's great. We might see some of that as the center gets closer and closer to the southern part of the CSRA. That's what we'll be monitoring over the next at least 6-7 hours. Some more good news. I want to share some good news with you. Notice the tropical storm warnings have been dropped for our western viewing area. Still parts of the central part of the CSRA and the southern part of our viewing area under that tropical storm warning that will continue for a few more hours. I think those counties, too, will be dropped before too long. Flash flood warning for Jenkins, Screven, and Allendale counties. That's till 8 o'clock. And these aerial flood advisories also till 8 o'clock as well. All right. So that's been the big situation that we've been watching is the flooding. Flooding's been the biggest concern. Notice the flood watch has been dropped for our western viewing area. So that certainly is good news as well. Don't have to worry about that. The tornado watch. Fantastic news, Jenna. This just in. Jenkins and Screven County done with the tornado watch. The only county left is Allendale. That tornado watch till 10 o'clock. There will not be any more further tornado watches issued. So that is some great news. Jenna, tell us more about what you have and what we can expect for the rest of this evening.
Well, Tim, over the next couple of hours, we'll continue to see those outer rain bands come in from Idalia. Notice the heavy rain, but then the stationary front steers it out to sea. We'll be done with this by around midnight, and the rest of Thursday looking much better. We'll have clearing conditions, and the rest of the week will actually be really nice and sunny. All those showers and storms staying to the south of us. Now, coming up, we'll have more details on what you can expect the rest of the week, including your Labor Day weekend, so stay with us, but back to you.
All right, Jenna, Tim, we appreciate you. Thanks a lot for that, Tim. Fascinating to hear how much rainfall Scriven County got today. More than 5 inches and counting. Shout out to my friends in Sylvania and Newington. Hope y'all are doing okay tonight. Glad things are starting to taper off. As we check in live, News Channel 6's Hannah Latier.
Thanks, Brad. Since our 5 o'clock show, EMA Director Harvey Kreider tells me there have been at least 6 more reported fallen trees across roadways that crews are out trying to clean up right now. He also tells me that they've seen some power outages that crews have been trying to fix. Flooding is very possible with the predicted 6 to 10 inches of rain the area is supposed to get. He remembers when Hurricane Michael came through the area and brought down a lot of trees and caused wind damage, and says that's helped them prepare for Idalia. They're fully staffed and plan to stay on call until tomorrow afternoon. He's urging people who live here to stay off the roads and monitor their TVs and the EMA department's Facebook page. And if wind speeds get up over 35 miles per hour, fire, EMS, and other crews will not be able to travel the roads.
Tropical storm winds is up to 75, so we could be seeing any of those type of winds. So people need to be prepared and shelter in place and stay put.
Our weather team says the worst of Tropical Storm Idalia is passing over Scriven County right now. Kreider says to call 911 in case of an emergency and to call the Roads and Bridges Department in case of fallen trees. Live in Scriven County, Hannah Latier, WJBF News Channel 6.
All right, Hannah, thank you so much for that report. Allendale County is one of the areas in South Carolina that could see the most rainfall from Idalia. Our correspondent, Sean Cabbage-Talk, live. Hi, Sean.
Hey, here in Allendale, the winds are picking up. You can hear lightning. You can see lightning as well as hear the thunder roar. The water has been causing a problem for the good folks here in Allendale. 2 trees fell on Highway 321. The South Carolina Department of Transportation removed those. The highway is back open to traffic. Also, a car went into a ditch. Some of the parking lots are inundated with water. Those ditches are holding excess water, and we're told they're gradually draining off, and the shelters are still not expected to be open.
Again, a very slight possibility. That's something we kind of play by ear. We don't normally have to have them, which is a good thing. And we normally shelter people who are traveling from the Beaufort County coastline, and they're not really moving. They're in place.
And back here live now, emergency management officials are in a meeting right now just to figure out how things are going. Of course, if you have an emergency, call 911. And the school district out here in Allendale will be closed tomorrow. For now, live in Allendale, I'm Aiken Bureau Chief Sean Cabbage-Talk, WJBF News Channel 6.
Thank you, Sean. Augusta's EMA office is warning folks in low-lying areas to stay vigilant. That would include Virginia Avenue near Butler High School. It is prone to flooding. You may remember back in June, thunderstorms caused a creek that flows through the neighborhood to spill its banks, trapping some people in their homes. Now with the rains from this storm, some residents say they're on pins and needles.
I was then trapped for 19 hours until the city came out and sucked the water out of my yard just to get me out of my house so I could make it to my car. And if this storm's going to be worse than that, I'm scared. I'm petrified. I don't know how much support we're going to get.
EMA office says before the storm, city engineers went into nearby Rocky Creek in a canoe, making sure it was clear of debris so the excess stormwater could flow freely.
Well, Jenny, preparations paying off in Burke and Jenkins counties on this rainy Georgia and Wednesday night for sure. They dealt with the usual things one might expect.
Alert.
Idalia is leaving its mark with 740 people without power in Martinez. That's just north of Washington Road at this point. We also understand a little less than 600 people without power from our friends at Georgia Power letting the snow near Mike Paget Highway. So again, we do have some power outages for sure. Certainly some trees are down. I know that our folks at Georgia Power are working hard to fix it for sure. They're out there, and let's be praying for them as well. Here it is, Tropical Storm Idalia, wind speeds of 70 miles per hour. Winds have died down some, but still a strong tropical storm. But the key takeaway here is this storm is moving northeast at 21 miles per hour. That is a fast clip for a tropical system, and that's great. So the faster you move out of here, the happier we'll be. We also have the stationary front. This is going to help sort of slingshot, if you will, Idalia to move well out to sea by the time we get to tomorrow morning. In fact, my feeling is by 11 o'clock tonight, we're done with everything, and everything moves off towards the east, towards South Carolina, which is certainly great news because we can certainly catch a break from all of this, and that's exactly what we'll see. Live Viper 6 showing these showers and rain. Notice the heaviest of rain now is moving off towards our east. We're still going to get some wraparound rain here, but notice our western counties are starting to get some breaks here, which is good news, and I think that means that it ends certainly of our western viewing area. The heavy rain certainly is over. Aerial flood watch, we have Lexington County, South Carolina, but also parts of Richmond County as well. That also goes down to Millen, down to Sylvania, as all this heavy rain continues to march off towards the east at a fairly good clip. Look at some of these rainfall totals. 5-inch rainfall totals in Millen, over 5 inches in Sylvania. I think we're going to add a little bit more to that as we go through time. Notice Washington, only an inch. So the further north you go, exponentially the rain is a lot less. Temperatures holding into the 70s. It's a muggy 70 at that. This is very tropical air. Sustained winds anywhere from 15 to 20 miles per hour. That's not too bad, but it's the gust that we want to talk about. And the gust, yeah, we've had some gust up to 28 miles per hour at Bushfield, 34 in Barnwell, almost 40 in Allendale. That certainly is causing some problems. I don't see any 50-mile-per-hour gusts happening here. I think this thing is moving very quickly, and we're pretty much done with it. With that being said, notice the tropical storm warning has been dropped for our western counties, not so much for the central and southern part of the CSRA, where we can still get some gust up to 39 miles per hour. Don't see any gusts near 73. That's not going to happen. Flood issues. Flooding has been the biggest issue that we've been dealing with all day today, with our aerial flood advisory for Richmond County, also Aiken County, Burke County, and these are flood warnings. All right, so this is for Jenkins, Screven, and Allendale counties. A flood warning till 8 o'clock tonight, rightfully so with all the rain that we've seen. The aerial flood watch has been dropped for our western viewing area, still in effect for much of the rest of the CSRA. That too, I think, will be dropped as we go through the rest of the evening as well. The tornado watch has been canceled for Jenkins and Screven County. That is great news because we had our tornado warning in Screven County. The only county available still in that tornado watch is Allendale, and I think that too will be dropped by about 10 o'clock. Let's have more now. Jenna Petracci is here. Meteorologist Jenna Petracci has been out. She and I have been tracking this all day long. Jenna, tell us more about Idalia and its path.
Well, our latest update from the National Hurricane Center came out at 5 p.m. Of course, it's around 6:30 now, so this is a little outdated, and it's actually moving faster than what this is showing. Notice at 5 o'clock here, it's still to the south of us, but this is actually going to be moving up towards the northeast pretty quickly. Still remaining as a tropical storm. Winds will be decreasing, though, to 60 miles per hour as it makes its way towards Myrtle Beach, but still, those 70-mile-per-hour winds definitely packing a punch here in town. So here's the Futurecast, 8 o'clock tonight. We're going to see those heavy rain bands still, say anywhere from Jenkins County up towards Aiken, Saluda. This stationary front will steer Idalia out to sea, though. This is luckily pushing it off towards the east of us. So by 11 o'clock tonight, we'll just see a few leftover showers. Most of the rain done, the wind starting to settle down a bit, and also that tornado threat ending. 5 a.m. Thursday morning, some leftover clouds, and then we'll have gradual clearing throughout the day on Thursday. Plenty of sunshine later on, with showers and storms staying in southern Georgia. I'm not expecting a single drop of rain over the next 10 days to come. Our Futurecast closer to home now, 8 o'clock, as I mentioned, say anywhere from Jenkins up to Saluda. That's where the last of Idalia's rain bands will be located. Around half the CSRA starting to dry out now. That's exactly where Tim pointed out that those tropical storm warnings and aerial flood watches are now dropped. By 11 o'clock, there's those few remaining showers as that center of circulation exits off towards our northeast. So overall impacts, we've already seen a lot of it. Up to 2 inches of rain in our northern counties. Right now they're around 1 inch. 2 to 5 inches of rain across the metro. Right now we're around 3 and 6 inches plus further towards the south. Scrubbing County already at that 6-inch mark, seeing a lot of places around 4.5 to 5.5 inches of rain. The good news with Idalia is that it's bringing in a lot of drier and cooler air behind it. We'll still have a muggy 68 degrees for your Thursday morning, but then 10 degrees cooler for your Sunday morning. 58 degrees and low 60s all the way into next week. So our lows tonight still in those upper 60s, but tomorrow we'll feel some of that cooler air with high temperatures only topping off in the low 80s, around 10 degrees below average. Your 10-day forecast showing those low 80s all the way through the holiday weekend. It's going to be beautiful and sunny. Definitely encourage those outdoor plans. And next week we'll warm up just a tad, but still looking pretty nice. And we'll be right back. It's to go.
The Scholar Athlete Awards are brought to you by Jefferson Energy Cooperative, Revamp of Augusta, McDonald's, and WJBF News Channel 6.
The president announcing a plan for Medicare and drug makers to negotiate lower prices for prescriptions.
In the initial phase of the plan, negotiations would focus on 10 popular medications. Those include drugs for heart failure, diabetes, and blood clots. The White House says the plan would save billions, but legal challenges are already mounting.
Big Pharma charges Americans more than 3 times what they charge other countries, simply because they could.
Several manufacturers are already suing the government, claiming that, unfair, trade practices. So all of that has to get litigated in the courts.
If that plan goes through, savings would start in 2026. We'll be right back.
This is